Once again, warm-up number 6. Number 1 reads, what are the measures of central tendency? By now we should know what they are. Number 2, make a box plot, compute the IQR and the measure of central tendency for 9, 5, 1, 6, 4, 3, and 13. And for number 3, it says write an equation to the best fit line shown. There's a blue line. And let's see what you get for that. All right. Should be just about done. And once again, this is being recorded. Should be available in the afternoon. All right, so you get us started, please. What are the measures of central tendency? Mia. Mean, median, and mode. That is correct. For number 2, the ascending order is 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 13. Is that correct? Yes? Okay. So by looking at it, we already know the minimum, the maximum. So now we just need Q1, Q2, and Q3. Share with your neighbor what those are so we can get someone else to help us out. All right, Q1, Natalie, what'd you get for Q1? 3, that is correct. How about 2, Priscilla? Okay, help her out, Drew, Q2. 5, and Q3, Zarina. 9, hands if you got that. Looks about right, and you know how to build your box plot, so we'll go with that. Last but not least, number 3, y equals mx plus b. Share with the neighbor what you used for the y-intercept. What did you use for the y-intercept? All right, I see most of you saying 2, so I'll leave it at 2. Now, here's where there's going to be a little bit of discrepancy. Before you share your slope, tell your neighbor which points did you use to find the slope. Which points did you use to find the slope? Let me pause this so I can hear this out. What points did you use, Eric? The ones on the line. So he used 1, 3, and 3, 6. All right. Who used this one and the y-intercept? Did anybody use those? Okay. Now, check this out. The slope from here to here, if I was to count it, we are at 3. We need to go to 6, so that's how many? 3 up. And from here to here, so we are at 1 to get to 3, it's what? 2, so my slope is 3 over 2. Hands, have you got that? All right. Now, check this out. However, who notices that the line is not completely going through the center of those points? It's a little bit off on both. Does everybody see that? All right. So check this out. So if something like that happens, that means that the inclination of the line might be different where it starts. So watch. If I was to use this and place a point there, and I wanted to use this one and this one. So how many steps up from here to here? And from here to here? And what do you guys notice? So the slope is what? 1. What is this in simplified form? 1.5. Is it pretty close? Yes, it's going to be just a little bit off. So whenever you guys are selecting your points, make sure you highlight the points so you can let me know which ones you're using. So like that I can see, oh, now I see why they got 1 as the slope. Does that make sense? All right. So copy the agenda, please. And warm up for today is number 6. We did that. Two-way frequency tables. Today we're moving on. And your home plate for tonight, only 2 problems, only. All right, copy that. And after that, get a Cornell note ready, please. All right, so we got the agenda done. Copy this code for the presentation in case you fall behind on the notes. Today we're going to have some things that we need to write down. So your code for you at home is Nearpod TR9HW. 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 Okay? TR9HW. All right. And your home plate is going to look like this. Woo-wee. Let's go. All right. Our objective for today, I can summarize data using frequency tables. So what is the main idea for today? Tell your neighbor, what is the main idea? Frequency tables. That means that one goes in the center of your Frere model, yes? And what are we doing? We're going to be summarizing those. That means now we're going to continue writing at the end our statement as to what we see on those tables. So, now on the side note, and I'm going to leave it recording so it can stay up there on the channel. Here goes. So, here's a fun story from today. I call it fun or funny. So, two questions. The first one, have you ever started a day like everything's like perfect? Everything's timed really well, and then all of a sudden, it just flips 180 degrees. Have you guys had some of those days? All right. The second question is, how do you react to that? Think about it. You don't have to say it out loud. Just think about it. The reason I'm making this a teaching moment of that because it happened to me today. Like I woke up at 5 in the morning, got ready. From there, I drove to go get my coffee, made me a little caramel macchiato. Let's go. And then I got here, and I try to get here early, like around 6:45-ish, just so I can get, for those of you that don't know, I park right out here. So I have a straight shot right here. And I'm getting here, and I'm like, there's a truck. They didn't even park, like, further up or further back because you can fit two cars in that spot. They parked in the middle. I'm like, what? So I'm like, all right, fine. So I went to the front, made a little U-turn, and I parked right there in the front by the tree, right? So I parked right there. I'm okay, fine. So I'm setting up my stuff, get my stuff out, and I had taken my speaker this weekend, and I put my suitcase on top of the speaker, and then I put my coffee in the little pocket like I always do. So I'm coming over, and I get to the walkway, and you guys know how it has those little bumps, the walkway, and there's a lot of cars already waiting for me. So I'm like, oh, snap. So I'm trying to hurry up, and it starts boom, 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 starts bumping, and as I'm bumping, getting closer to the sidewalk, my coffee falls. I'm like, oh, my goodness. So that's strike number 2. So, and check it out. It's all like, full of coffee on the side, but it has a little lock lid, and I was like, all right, it locked. So, but then I see it, and it fell, and right on the little lip of the lock, and it unlocked. So I'm trying to get it, and it's rolling away from me. I'm like, oh my goodness. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so right there, I just get on over there to the sidewalk, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, am I on candid camera? Is something going on, like, outside of a bubble here? But then I took time. I was like, okay, count to 23. All right? It's okay. You know? I said, I'm going to flip it. Instead of feeling down about it, I said, I'm going to get my new coffee maker out. Let's go. I had stored away at the end of the school year, but I have it out there. So later on, I'll make me some coffee here. Gourmet. How about them apples? Pretty good, right? So here's the teaching moment. Whenever you get to those places, at first, as soon as it happens, it just gets frustrated, right? It hits us here. Sometimes it hits us here. So make it an effort, a conscious effort to stop and analyze the way you're going to react to things. Does that make sense? Because sometimes we react, but then you need to really stop, take a breather, count to 23, and just turn it, turn it around and continue. Because if not, and I'm pretty sure it's happened to you or it's happened to other people that you had friends that don't know how to deal with that, and all of a sudden all day they need like that support. So let's try to kind of like anticipate that and move on in a amicable way. Does that make sense? Yeah? All right. So, and then when I got my cup, I was like, so I got it, and it just had this much left. I'm like, so when I got here, I was like, I'm going to savor this much of the coffee. But anyways, all right. Good story, yeah? All right, let's move on. So, frequency tables. Today we're going to get into frequency tables, but one thing, I don't know if you guys noticed since last week to this week, I've been talking about data. Now, data could be represented in so many different ways. So, writing utensils down, look up to the screen. When I talk about data, I talk about facts or information that we usually use for calculation or analyzing. So, it could be anything. It could be if I'm talking about students or population or different cars or different colors, that's data. If I'm talking about shoe size, that's data. So it could be anywhere from numbers to things, okay? So anytime I talk about data, it could be any information that we're going to gather to analyze. Does that make sense? So kind of like if I asked, what's your favorite type of music? Okay, that's data. That's information. Okay? What's your favorite type of food? That's information, and so on and so forth. But there's two types that we're going to be working with throughout the year, categorical and quantitative. Categorical and quantitative. Categorical and quantitative. So what is categorical? Categorical means that it's data that cannot be expressed with numbers. Okay? So think about it. If I was to ask a question, what kind of data can I get that is not expressed with numbers? Talk it over to your neighbor. What kind of data cannot be expressed with numbers? All right, looks like Ethan's got it. And the other Ethan as well. Yeah. All right, let's see. What kind of data would be categorical? Ethan Reeves. What is it? A graph? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Ethan? What is it? Percentage. That one you can express with numbers. Percentages are numbers. How about a favorite music? Because it's just the name of the type of music. Okay? And we'll do some more, we'll see some examples in a little bit. So that's categorical. Let me show you quantitative. Quantitative can be expressed with numbers. Once again, there's two types, categorical data and quantitative. Categorical, quantitative. Tell your neighbor the two types of data we're going to be working with. What type of data are we going to be working with? Some of you, like categorical and what's the other one? Quantitative. Quantitative, okay? Category and quantitative. So you didn't copy this. Now, really quick to clarify those two types of data. Here it goes. Look up. Don't copy this. It says, is the following information categorical or quantitative? Tell your neighbor, please, what kind of data is that? Everyone? Categorical. Okay, here goes another. Example 1B. Is the following information categorical or quantitative? Everyone? Categorical. Okay. Is the following information categorical or quantitative? Everyone? Quantitative, because this one actually has ounces. So when you go to Johnny's or Donut or Mickey D's or wherever they're serving you a drink, That one can be labeled as quantitative because it's by ounces. Okay? All right, we got it? All right, so that's the kind of data we're going to be working with. I just wanted to get that out of the way, keep it as a mental note. But let's fill out our Frere model. Write this in there. Frequency tables. Today we're going to be focusing on frequency tables. So we're going to be focusing on two types, one-way frequency tables and two-way frequency tables. However, what are frequency tables? Definition. Table used to organize information and that show how often data occurs. Tables used to organize information and that show how often data occurs. Frequency tables. Tables used to organize information and that show how often data occurs. Now, for those of us that have our colored pens already, notice that the main idea or the main concept is in green, yes? So underline the word frequency. And in the definition, I want you to underline where it says how often. That's what frequency means. How often. Frequency means how often. Kind of like if I ask some of you, how often are you gaming throughout the week? Does that make sense? It's the frequency of how often you do. For some of you, how often are you making bad comments on Twitter? You know? Somebody, Mr. Q, come on, I'm TikTok now. All right, well, whatever. You get the idea. All right, so frequency means what? How often. However, in order for us to build a frequency table, we need what? Data. Don't we need data first? So I'm going to give you right here some data, and I want you to write it down. It's not a frequency table. It's just what? Data. And then we're going to make the frequency table. All right, so copy this data. Here it goes. It says, types of baskets made by Mr. Q by points. You're like, oh, snap, Mr. Q. Oh, yeah, I used to tear it up on the court. Let's go. Type of baskets made by Mr. Q by points. And here they go. 1 pointer, comma, 1 pointer, comma, 2 pointers, 2 pointers, 2 pointers, 3 pointer, 2 pointer, 3 pointer, 2 pointer, 3 pointer, 1 pointer, 1 pointer, 2 pointer, 1 pointer, 1 pointer, 1 pointer, 1 pointer, 3 pointer. Copy that. I'll give you some time. All right, question. Is this a frequency table? No, that's just what? Data. Okay. Now let me show you a frequency table, and that's why I made it green. Copy that. We have one column that says basket type and another column that says frequency. That's why it's called a frequency table. Yes. So notice the first column, it says basket type. That means the type of basket I made. 1 pointer, 2 pointer, or 3 pointer. And then the frequency for the 1 pointers, I got 8 of those baskets. 2 pointers, I got 6 of those baskets. And 3 pointers, I got 4 of those baskets. Copy that. All right. So here it goes. Now, I just gave you the table so that you can see how it looks. But let me show you how it's filled. I get the data, and I say it looks like it's type of baskets, okay? So that's why I write here on the first column, type of basket. And, of course, the next column has to be what? Frequency, because this is a frequency table. So then I go through and I see, okay, there's 1 pointers, 2 pointers, 3 pointers. Are there any other kind? No. So I write it out, 1 pointer, 2 pointer, 3 pointer. From there, I start tallying how many of each. So then I cross out the ones. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I write the frequency. Then I go to the next one, 2 pointers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 of those. And then last but not least, 3 pointers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I write that there. Now, this kind of frequency table is known as a one-way frequency table. And let me show you why. Why, Mr. Q? What is it called a one-way frequency table? Well, because these you can total one way. So if I ask you how many total points did I score. How many total points did I score? Tell your neighbor how many total points. Everyone? How many total points? No. What is 4 plus 6? 10 plus 8? 18. We can total it one way. Yes. Those are the shots. That's true. So that means points. Thank you. These are the baskets. Thank you. So let's go with points. 8 points. These are 2-pointers times 2. That's 6 times 2 is 12. And 3 times 4 is 12. So baskets 18, but the total amount of points were 24, 32 points. Hey, pretty good. Anyways, but what do you notice? That we needed to tally, or the total, downward. That means it's only a one-way frequency table. Okay. So, from 1 to 5, how comfortable are you with one-way frequency tables? Yeah, 5, 4, okay. So, don't copy this. Look up. Look at that table. And talk it over to your neighbor. Let them know why that one is not a one-way frequency table. Why is that one not a one-way frequency table? Looks like Samantha's got it. Very good. Mia's got it. Elia's got it. Very good. George's got it. Kristen's got it. Let's see, Noel, why is that one not a one-way frequency table? Because it's categorical and it doesn't show what? It doesn't show frequency. Notice this one says frequency. This one does not have a frequency. So copy that, please. And for the sake of time, I'm going to give you the 2 hashtags. What makes a frequency table a frequency table? Hashtag, it is to organize information and to show frequency. Hashtag to organize information and hashtag to show frequency. Should be on your screen. All right, pretty good, yes? All right, so frequency tables, students, frequency tables. Okay, I think we got it. So here are the steps that we're going to take in order to make our frequency tables and summarize them. So look up to the screen. Only 2 steps. Don't copy this. The first step, we're going to organize the data in a 1- or 2-way frequency table. Okay, I kind of showed you right now, but we're going to do some practice. And at the end, we're going to do what? Summarize whatever we see in our table. Okay? So here we go. Writing utensils down, look up to the screen. It's going to go pretty fast. Example 2A. Look up. Don't copy this. And it says, use the categorical data listed on the left to complete the frequency table. Notice this is frequency. That's why it's a what? Frequency table. Okay. So it says, way students get to school. What way do they get to school? By bus, by car, or walking. Is there any other way? No. So to fill in my table, check this out. I need to start. I write bus, car, walk. Okay. How do I check the frequency? Well, I go through it and I start tallying. You got bus, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, next. Car. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And last but not least, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Straightforward, fairly simple. Okay, but here goes the doozy though. What can you conclude from the frequency table? Look at it. If someone was to ask you to summarize an idea from that table, what would you say? Tell your neighbor, please. What would you say in regards to the situation? All right, looks like Jeremy's got it. Jeremy, what would you say? Most kids ride the bus to school. Does everybody agree with that statement? Yeah? Could we have pointed out something else? Tell your neighbor, what would be something else to point out? Amelia, what would be something else to point out? Second highest, okay. He saw the second highest, okay. Who saw the least amount of waves? Yeah. So that's what, if you see how I'm saying? Someone can be looking at it in a different perspective, but I want you to be descriptive. I want you to give me a statement in regards to UC. So from 1 to 5, how comfortable are you filling out a one-way frequency table? 5, 5, 5. Okay, now it's your turn. Y'all ready? You're going to copy this one on your paper, please. Example 2B. There's the data. It says, use the categorical data listed on the left to complete the frequency table. And it says, places where students buy food. Donut, Johnny's, Mickey D's, donut, Johnny's, donut, Mickey D's, Starbucks, Johnny's, and so on and so forth. Copy that. Here's your table, and at the end, you're going to summarize that for me, please. Once you are done, I'm going to send you the screen. Send me what you put together. Make sure you talk it over with your neighbors so like that you can help them out. I'll give you some time. Copy and go. All right, here goes one of them. Check your work. And if you got something like that. All right. Here goes another anonymous one. Check your work on that one. Here goes another one. Anonymous. All right. Another one. All right. So from 1 to 5, how comfortable are you with one-way frequency tables? One-way frequency tables. Yeah, 5s. We got this, yes? All right. And once again, it's just about writing the data in regards to the category and then your frequency and then summarizing. So in summary, what would you say in regards to all this data, everyone? Most students what? Yeah, bought food at Donut, okay? And so on and so forth. Okay. So check this out, though. Look up. You're like, oh, does that look like a one-way frequency table? No. This one, they have totals at the bottom, if you notice, total down here, and then total over to the right. So how many different totals? So how many different ways for this? Two-way. This is known as a two-way frequency table. Copy that one, please. All right. So it says, example 3A. Mr. Q asked 195 of his students what kind of pet they preferred, dogs, cats, or other. So as you're copying the table, let me do the most important part of two-way frequency tables. Here it goes. The most important. Eyes on the screen really quick up here. Here it goes. How many total students? Okay, so the total always goes right here. So write it in there, please. 195. And that's going to help you fill in the rest of the table. Now, check this out. I'm going to go this way. So we have Total, we have 100 plus what gives us 195? 95, that is correct. Now let me go the other way, in that direction. It has to be a total of what? 195, is that correct? So let's see. What is 145 plus 35? 180, so therefore what goes here? 15, yeah. 180 plus 15 is 195. However, some of you are like, Mr. Yu, couldn't I just add going downward? Of course. What is 10 plus 5? 15. So, with that same idea, look up. 30 plus what gives me 35? That is correct. And last but not least, fill in here and tell your neighbor how you got that number, please. How did you get that number? What'd you get for that number, Noel? Oh, still working on it? Okay. All right, help him out, Kristen. 60. How did you get that? All right, so Kristen subtracted 85 from 145. Okay, that's good. So she went this way. What if I went that way? What is 30 plus 10? 40. How many more to 100? 60. So those are two ways of looking at it. So look at it again really quick. Look at the data. Tell your neighbor a statement that you would come up with in regards to this data. What would be a statement? A statement for that data. All right, looks like Brianna's got it. Brianna, what did you say in regards to this data? Most students prefer dogs. Most students prefer dogs. From 1 to 5, how good were you with these? 5, 5, 5. Yeah, this is a what? Two-way frequency table. So, look up. Oh, yeah. On your screen. You don't need to copy that on paper. On your screen, I want you to start writing me and filling in the boxes, please. Fill in those boxes. You got about 2 minutes left. All right. Some of you already got on your way. Man, you're quick. Make sure you type in your statement for that data, please. Go. All right, have a good one, guys. It's your home place. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.